The way to forgotten names. Every family tree has roots. Some by blood are fed. Others, for it, thirst. Int. Historians study, night. In the darkness, a slow, steady drip of water ticks, a metronome. Onto a sprawling landscape of paper, a single green-shaded desk lamp throws a pool of warm light. This is the study of Dr. Aries Thorne, 40s. A cathedral of the dead, it is, a beautiful, organized chaos. Like captured ghosts, parchment family trees are pinned to corkboards. Their spines cracked with age, leather-bound genealogies line the shelves. Of dust, old paper, and the faint, sharp scent of ink, the air smells. At its heart is Aries. The intense, focused eyes of a predator she has, and the delicate, ink-stained fingers of a scribe. For her client, she is restoring a massive, hand-drawn family tree on vellum. With a surgeon's precision, she works, a silver fountain pen in her hand. Watching her client, Lysander Vainstead, 70s, sits in a worn leather wingback chair. Frail he is, leaning on an ornate cane, but his eyes are chips of flint, cold and sharp. Of old, unyielding money and older, darker secrets, he exudes an aura. One of the oldest and purest in this country, the Vainstead line is. A lineage that reflects that, I require. For the family legacy. For the inheritance. Not looking up, Aries's pen hovers over a name. Messier than Widlike, legacy often is. Illegitimate children, name changes, adoptions, a way of branching out. The truth has a thin, bloodless smile, and to prune those branches, it is your esteemed profession. For the truth, I am not paying. For a specific shape, I am paying. To be documented, the irregularities in our records are not. To be removed, they are. Permanently. To a particular name on the tree, Aries's eyes drift, Caleb Vainstead, born in 1872. In a frantic, faded ink, it is scrawled, a blot on the otherwise elegant script. Loosely tied around the name, a single, frayed thread of crimson silk is, as if for execution, marking it. A strange resistance she feels, a historian's instinct screaming in protest. But a lifeline the money he's offering is, a way to save her crumbling family home. Into a small, crystal bottle of a special, black, viscous ink, a formula of her own creation, designed to bond with and permanently obscure ancient inks, she dips her pen. A second death, to remove a name is. Of memory, a death. To die, some memories deserve. With a steady hand, through Caleb Vainstead, she draws a single, clean, dark line. The moment the ink touches the vellum, something happens. On the surface, it doesn't just sit. It seems, the old ink drinking deep into the skin of the document sinking. As if bruised, the parchment around the line momentarily darkens. From somewhere deep in the old house, or perhaps from the storm outside, a sound comes. A sharp, wet gasp, choked off into silence. Flinching, Aries looks up. The storm? The pipes? Widening, Lysander's smile shows perfect, tombstone-white teeth. Slowly, he rises, on his cane leaning. Excellent. Tomorrow, we will begin in earnest. With the 19th century, start. There are many errors there. Alone in the study, he leaves her. Louder now, the storm seems. The house groans. At the black line through Caleb's name, Aries stares. Slack has gone the crimson thread, she could swear. Architects of the past, we historians are. From dust and whispers, we build narratives. That by tearing one wall down, we might let something else in, we never think. With a sickly energy, the fluorescent lights buzz. Of antiseptic and something sweetly organic, the air is cold, smelling. Beside a steel gurney, Aries stands, her arms crossed tightly. A white sheet, a weary morgue attendant, 50s, pulls back. The corpse is a man in his 50s, pale and waxy. In a rictus of pure, unadulterated terror, his face is frozen. Wide, his eyes are, milky orbs. No visible wounds there are, no signs of struggle. We don't know. At his desk in his study, found him. Just stopped. No heart attack, no stroke. Nothing. Like his body just forgot how to live, it is. Caleb Miller, his name was. Alone, he lived. As an archivist, he worked. Like a physical blow, the name hits Aries. Caleb. To the man's hands, her eyes dart. On his left pinky finger, a small, silver ring with a distinctive, almost familiar, crest is. Any family, did he have? To the Vainstead family, any connection not that we know of. Why? Something, you know? From the corpse's terrified face, Aries can't tear her eyes away. I'm not sure. Int. Historian study, night. A frantic energy, Aries is a whirlwind. Every file, every note on the Vainstead project, she has pulled. On Caleb Vainstead, she finds her research. Born 1872, to a scullery maid. By the family, denied. With his mother, left the estate. No further official records. Then, with modern databases, she cross-references. Caleb Miller. Born 1958. Vain, mother's maiden name. His own lineage, he was trying to trace, a genealogist. An archivist. Undeniable, perfect, the connection is. The man in the morgue, the last living descendant of the name she erased, was. At the family tree on the wall, she stares. A fresh scar, the black line through Caleb Vainstead looks angry. To the floor, the red thread has fallen. To another irregularity, her eyes are drawn. Eleanor Vainstead, born in 1902. The story, a daughter who with a travelling actor ran off, shaming the family. With a crimson thread, her name is also marked. Her silver fountain pen, Aries picks up. Her hand trembles. Insane, this is. A coincidence. It has to be. To test it, she needs. To be sure. To Eleanor's name, she brings the nib of the pen. To cross it out, she doesn't. Not yet. The pen to the parchment, she just touches, a tiny, deliberate dot of black ink next to the name making. Instantaneous, the effect is. Into the night, across the city, a car alarm blares. By the sound of shattering glass and screeching tires, a woman's scream is cut short. As if it were white hot, Aries drops the pen. On the oak desk, it clatters, like blood, black ink spattering. At the dot on the parchment, she stares. To swell slightly, it seems, pulsing, a tiny, black heart on the page beating. A historian, I am. A keeper of names. But something else I have become. A curator of death. And the library I work for, or a ghost in the stacks, has. Int. Vainstead Family Crypt, Night. Against the stained glass windows of the ancient Vainstead family crypt, rain lashes. The keys Lysander gave her, Ares has used, but her entry feels like a violation. Of damp stone and decay, the air is frigid, thick with the smell. Into the far wall, carved, is the Vainstead family tree, a mirror image of the one on her parchment. But here, laid bare, the truth is that erased names, not just crossed out, are. Out of the stone, they have been physically gouged. The marble, deep, angry scars mar. But not the worst part, that's. These gouges filling, set into the stone like dark, filthy gems, are patches of a strange, tarnished, coppery metal. Like dried blood, it looks almost. Over the gouge where a Caleb Vainstead should be, as Ares runs her fingers, a wave of nausea and vertigo hits her. Of absolute terror, a psychic echo. Behind her, a soft, shuffling footstep echoes. Around, she spins, through the gloom her flashlight beam cutting. There, between two marble sarcophagi, a figure stands. Semi-transparent, it is, like a faulty film projection, flickering. The spectral archivist, it is. Its form is androgynous, in tattered robes that might have been scholarly once, draped. By shadow, its face is obscured, but its hands are clear, long, pale fingers that constantly move, as if through invisible index cards, sorting. One of its fingers, a faint, ghostly echo of the silver ring Caleb Miller wears. A sound that hits the ears, its voice is not, but one that forms directly in the mind, a dry rustle of pages and a cold, profound sorrow. Asterisk the new scribe, you are. Of the culling, the new hand. Asterisk. Back, Ares stumbles, against her ribs her heart hammering. What are you? What is this? With one ethereal hand towards the scarred wall, the archivist gestures. Asterisk the library of bloodlines, this is. The true record. A soul, every name carved here is. A story. From the mortal copy, every name you erase, to story I am forced to close, is. Permanently. Asterisk I'm not killing anyone. Correcting a document, I'm just, asterisk the life, the document is. The soul, the name is. A pen, you think you are wielding? A scythe, you are wielding. For generations, as my hand, a Vainstead has served, for power, for purity, their own tree pruning. Their latest instrument, you are merely. Asterisk. Flickers, the ghostly figure, and for a moment, its face Ares sees, not monstrous, but infinitely tired, the weight of countless forgotten lives its eyes holding. The weight you feel, do you not, scribe? Of the names you have silenced, the weight, asterisk. A hand, the archivist extends. In its palm, like dying moths, 3 faint, shimmering lights flutter. Asterisk Caleb. Eleanor. Little Thomas, whom without a second thought, yesterday you erased. With me now, they are. In the silence. Asterisk. In her chest, Ares feels a crushing pressure. Not her own, the grief is, but real it is, on her soul a phantom weight settling. Asterisk for the executioner, ignorance is no absolution. In blood and ink, the contract is bound. You will continue, or broken the balance will be. And a debt will be collected from you. Asterisk. Into the cold air, the spectral archivist dissolves, leaving Ares alone in the crypt, on her shoulders the phantom weight of the forgotten names heavy. Int. Historian study, day. Haunted, Ares looks. She hasn't slept. Like a prison, the study, once her sanctuary, now feels. A death warrant, the family tree on the wall is no longer a document, it's. There, Lysander Vainstead is, impeccably dressed, his cane tapping impatiently. Slowing, the work is, Dr. Thorne. Second thoughts, there are no. I trust? Persuasive, the archivist can be, but dramatic. Its purpose, it serves. The purity of the line, we maintain. The undesirables, it removes. A symbiotic relationship, a murderer, you're. Using me, using this thing, to kill your own family for generations, you've been, chuckles dryly, a gardener, I am. The weeds I remove so the prized roses may thrive. And you, my dear, the shears are. Now, of my cousin, Arthur, in Boston, there is the matter. A weak, sentimental man. On the list, his name is. To another name circled in red thread, he points a bony finger, Arthur Vainstead. From his cold, entitled face to the pen on her desk, Ares looks. Like a weapon of terrible, occult power, the silver pen that now feels. Of the spectral archivist, its weary sorrow, she thinks. Of Caleb Miller's terrified, frozen face, she thinks. In her mind, a plan, desperate and dangerous, begins to form. Int. Historian study, night. Before the family tree, Ares stands. Watching her, Lysander is, his eyes gleaming with anticipation. Do it. Erase him. The pen, Ares picks up. In the black ink, she dips it. To Arthur Vainstead's name, she brings it. But instead of crossing it out, to write, she begins. Not with the black ink, but with a different pen, one filled with a vibrant, crimson ink she took from the crypt, a pigment with her own blood mixed. Again, she writes Arthur's name, larger, bolder, on the parchment reinforcing it. A box around it, she draws. His children's names, his wife's name, she writes, connecting them, their branch strengthening. Violently, the parchment reacts. Bubbles and hisses, the black ink around the new, red script. Snaps and withers to dust, the red thread tied around Arthur's name. What are you doing? Stop her. Forward with surprising speed, he lunges, like a club his cane raised. But deathly cold, the air in the room grows. The books on the shelves rattle. Materializes, the spectral archivist, not as a flickering ghost, but as a solid, terrifying presence. With threads of the same crimson ink Ares used, its form is now shot through. Asterisk a new law, the scribe writes. Asterisk. Freezes, Lysander, his face a mask of fury and fear. The contract, she breaks. I'm. What you tried to remove, back I'm adding. Your shears, I'm not anymore. To the spectral archivist, she turns. The soul, the name is, you said. So let me write. Let me remember. Back the names, let me give. To the tree, she turns back, her crimson pen flying. In the margins, she begins to write, with the names Lysander had ordered her to erase, filling them. Caleb, Eleanor, Thomas. Dozens of them. In tiny, precise script, their story she writes, to the record restoring them not as errors, but as vital, remembered branches. With each name she writes, more solid the spectral archivist grows, its form shifting. Like those of a head librarian, the tattered robes begin to look, its sorrowful expression transforming into one of grim purpose and, faintly, hope. A roar of pure rage, Lysander lets out. At Ares, he swings his cane. Moves, the spectral archivist. Lysander, it doesn't touch. Instead, at the family tree on the wall, at the original, pristine name of Lysander Vainstead, it points a long, pale finger. To boil, the black ink of his own name begins. On the parchment, from the letters, it bleeds out, pooling. Gasping, Lysander clutches his chest. Backward, he stumbles, with a terror Ares knows all too well, his eyes wide. The weight, he is feeling. Of all the names he has forgotten, the weight. Asterisk restored, the balance is. Paid, the debt is dot asterisk. Collapses, Lysander Vainstead. With a heavy, final thud, his body hits the floor. Open, his eyes are, in the same silent scream as Caleb Miller's, frozen. Int. Historian study, dawn. Through the window, the first rays of sunlight stream. The storm has passed. A wreck, the study is, but transformed the family tree on the wall is. Of black and crimson ink, a beautiful, chaotic tapestry it is, a record of a family in all its messy, glorious, painful entirety. Beside Ares, the spectral archivist stands, of quiet authority, now a figure, its form almost solid. Asterisk the cycle, you have broken. A new guardian, the library of bloodlines has. That a true record includes all the stories, not just the pretty ones, one who understands. Asterisk. To the pen in Ares's hand, it gestures. Asterisk not done, the work is. Other families, there are. By the same hunger for purity, poisoned, other trees. There, the weight will always be, but now, how to bear it, you choose. Asterisk. Fades, the archivist, but this time, less like a disappearance it feels and more like a return to its post, in the space between worlds a silent, watchful presence. Alone, Ares stands, exhausted, and forever changed. A blank piece of parchment, she picks up. Her pen she dips, not in black ink, but in the crimson. To write, she begins. Her own, the first name she inscribes is. Architects of the past, we historians are. But some of us, of the future, guardians are also. And to be erased, the weight of a name is not a burden, but to be carried, a story. Fade to black. The end.